Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Khalil.
Hey, and I'm Kiara. And we always get asked all the time by couples in our DM and everywhere else, like, how is it working together all of the time? So we're gonna go a little bit, pull open the curtains just a tad, and share what it's like to work with your spouse.
Well, first of all, it's amazing because you get to cuddle and be with them and be in love as you're working. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Okay, so we said pull back the curtain, which means we're gonna be real, right? So really, it's a lot of fun, right? So first, what I think is really important, what we did that set a really strong foundation is before we got married, before we had kids, before we were really, before I was trying to figure out like what exactly was going on here, we talked a lot about what our goals were, right? What were my goals as an individual? What were his goals as an individual? And as we thought and saw where we were going together, what we wanted that to look like. And so as we talk about mindset and setting goals and all of those types of things in general, we've really spent time to do that as a unit, right? I like to talk about marriage as a business, right? It's fun, all the lovey-dovey stuff, whatever, right? But it's also a contract. There's a business perspective, right? And so we spent some time and really, maybe not consciously, but kind of set like the mission and vision for what it was that we wanted to accomplish, put together what our goals were, what it was that we wanted to do, and then set a plan in order to make those things happen.
Yeah, I remember sitting down and doing a vision board. We literally made a vision board, decided, okay, what direction are we gonna go in our lives? Real estate stuck out, and then we moved forward from there. It's important when you're working together with your spouse to open communication through everything, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, the emotional, the rational, the business, to ensure that all systems are moving forward in the way that they need to.
Right. So of course, there's always challenges, right? One of those challenges being when you're working full time with your spouse, being able to turn it off, right? Yep. And having that moment where you're not partners and somebody's not running this project and who did what, when, how, right? Having the opportunity to turn it off and just be normal people is really important, right? Because it's draining. And when work is challenging, you don't want life to be challenging as well, right? You don't want it all to kind of mix up together. And so having that time to turn it off is really important.
And finding your lane, right? At the end of the day, we're individuals. Yes, we're together, but we're also individuals. And it's important to make sure that through this real estate investing journey and through our marriage, we have our own individual lanes. I'm good at certain things, Kiara's good at certain things, and together we can be great. But we gotta make sure that we stick to our core competencies and allow the other person the space to express themselves.
Right. And I think what's also really important is through that communication and making sure that you're having that communication not only on the business side, but the personal side, because as your business grows and flourishes, and as you grow and flourish as a couple, you guys are also kind of continuing to grow and mature as individuals. And so you constantly have to have those almost like, meetings in a business when you have kind of strategy sessions and how are things going, you kind of have to have those conversations, maybe not as structured, but as individual people, as you're kind of growing and finding your own way, that you're staying on the same page with each other. And so I think it's really important through that, you're also holding each other accountable to where not only they have said that they want to go, but where you want to go, right? You hold each other accountable, kind of keep each other's backs and making sure that you're constantly moving in the right direction.
To help with the communication, one tip that we have is we have separate applications through which we talk about business and we talk about personal. That way, if I get a notification from one app, I know what brain to use, whether I'm in business mode or in personal mode. That way we can separate and differentiate the business love and the personal love. Even though we use separate applications to talk through personal and through business, obviously they're conjoined, right? They're intertwined. So if there's a problem on the personal side, if there's a disruption or some kind of miscommunication or problem, right? If there's a genuine problem, then it impacts the business. And that's when it's not so pretty. That's when it sucks. It's like, all right, not only is the emotional side being impacted, but also the financial side, right? We're not driving as hard. We're not moving the business as forward as we need to. We're not developing our properties as efficiently as we'd like. And it all intertwines. Again, because there's a problem on the personal side, the communication breaks down and it ultimately impacts the business side as well.
Yeah, there's nothing like having just whatever, right? A piece of mail, something didn't get sent out on time, but it really pissed me off because you didn't do the dishes the night before. It definitely makes that piece of mail a little bit more important. And so that's when you really want to make sure that you're kind of balancing and trying to keep things separate. But I mean, everyone's human, right? It's hard to keep those things separate. And so you want to make sure that that you're communicating as often as you can, as you want. I'll tell you, we're big fans of therapy, right? Personal, marriage, whatever it is, to make sure that you're keeping your communication strong, you're keeping everything good, because at the end of the day, not only does the personal need to work at its highest and best, highest and best potential, but also on the business side. And you don't want one to impact the other, right? This is full time. This is life. This is what we do. And so we have to make sure that everything is as strong as it possibly can be.
That's a really good piece of advice. I mean, we like to outsource as much as possible because no, I'm not checking the mail. I'm just not doing it. I don't have time to check mail anymore. I'm sorry. But those little things can be nuances that really trigger people, right? And make them feel a different kind of way. So on camera, in front of all of you, I apologize. But I'm not checking the mail.
So for more, you can always check us out at charmcitybuyers.com and at charmcitybuyers on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks.